I almost forgot to mention this. Okay, so I don't know if y'all like. I'm sure y'all seen it. It's actually the most viewed YouTube. It actually surpassed Endgame as being the most viewed trailer on YouTube. I think. Um, I love Fanta pineapple. It's my favorite drink of all time. That and Sprite. But that Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Man, let me tell you something. I have been waiting for this trailer for so long. Let me tell you something. Like if they could somehow magically, right? Like if they're making a multiverse right in the MCU, it's not out of the question that they could also somehow tie in Miles Morales Spider-Man from the animated movie and then put him. We'll put in an actor, insert actor here, right? And then that actor will be the Miles Morales. I mean, they kind of already hinted at Miles being in the universe with in Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming, Childish Gambino is playing like he's Prowler, right? And his nephew is Miles because his name I forgot what his name is, but he's Prowler and his nephew that he mentions that he's trying to like get the guns off the streets. His nephew is Miles. Now, if they introduce Miles in this universe, right, that's fine. But I feel like it'd be a W for both Marvel and Sony if they're to be like, that Spider-Man that you saw in that universe is the same Spider-Man that's going to be in this universe. The only issue with that would be two things. One, you have to find a character, someone young enough to be Miles, and be Miles for a long time, because Peter Parker right now he's just getting ready to graduate from high school, and them going into so like if Miles were to be introduced in this universe, he would have to be like a kid, like maybe 10 or 11, right? Like it was confirmed a while ago that in Iron Man 3 or 2, pretty sure it was 2, Iron Man 2, right? That was whichever one had Whiplash in it. Whichever one had Whiplash and Justin Hammer. I'm pretty sure that was 2. That there was like a little kid wearing an Iron Man mask at the World's Fair, and he was like gonna blast a robot, whatever, right? And then like Iron Man came in, swooped in, and blew the robot. It was confirmed that kid was Peter Parker, and so I think that'd be interesting for like Miles to like save like an 8 or 9-year-old, or like not Miles, Peter to save like an 8 or 9-year-old black kid, right? And then that black kid, right? His parents are like, oh my god, and it's like Jefferson, right? And Jefferson is a key name because that's Miles' dad's name, is Jefferson Davis. Now, depending on how they want to go about his origin, he can either be a SHIELD agent, because that's what he is in the comics, or he can be a cop, like he is in the books, or not in the books, in the game. I think it would be better if he is a cop because, like again, that we saw Into the Spider-Verse, and so we register him as being a cop because in the comic books, his dad is a SHIELD agent, he's an ex-SHIELD agent, but I feel like him being a cop is a little more grounded and a little more real life, especially with SHIELD being not a thing anymore like it used to. So we're getting Doc Ock, so dope. Alfred Molina's coming back as Doc Ock, and he looks young. He looks like he literally stopped aging in 2004, 2005 when Spider-Man 2 came out. Like he stopped, and then like they're getting, assumingly because of the Goblin Bomb, they're getting oh my god, I'm missing his name now. Go kill me. Hold on, I have my computer right here. Oh my god, I'm looking at it right now. Green Goblin. Willem Dafoe. Thank God. Thank God for Google. Willem Dafoe. So like Willem Dafoe might come back as Green Goblin, which he's arguably the best one because the one that we got in Amazing Spider-Man was literally a disgrace to the name Green Goblin because he was not terrifying, nor was he like interesting. Like Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin was terrifying because like as a kid, that was like it was like and like also it's like the director, right? The director for that movie, I'm not missing his name. Oh my gosh. Sam Raimi, thank God, I just top of my head. Sam Raimi, he has a horror background, but like he came in to do Spider-Man, and like Spider-Man was a great. The early stuff was great up until three. Three was bad, but like the first two were great. It was I don't blame the third one on him either because like it was all like industry corporate people trying to tell him what to do instead of like just letting him create what would be a masterpiece really. Yeah, like Sam Raimi's directing. He's directing the next Doctor Strange movie, and so, but like I like in the Green Goblin in the early Sam Raimi movies was like kind of scary because like he was like a demon lurking in like the back of your, like he was like temptation or like a demon lurking in the night, and like you didn't know when he was gonna pop up because like for Peter he was like a remembrance as to why he has to hide his identity. For Harry it's like a revenge, like he wants to get revenge against Spider-Man because this man killed his father, right? Also, let's just say, like, if we do get, like, an older Toby being, like, older Peter, and, like, if that's gonna be, like, Peter when he's, like, 40 in another universe, right? Because, like, that's the other cool thing, too, about the animated movie, is that it almost made it seem like in that universe that Peter Parker was, like, the Peter Parker that we know from the early 2000s movies, because like a lot of the scenes they did in there were like very much from that era, right? They like the upside down kiss. The only difference I guess would be like when I guess this is what makes him the best Peter Parker is that when like everyone knew his identity already, like well not everyone but like his close family knew his identity. In the Sam Raimi movies, no one knew except for Mary Jane and Harry. I think that's it. And Harry died, and well, who cares about Mary Jane, right? But the fact that they're bringing in Doc Ock and Green Goblin really gets me excited, but also gives me hope that Marvel didn't run out of ideas because they couldn't use all of the characters that they wanted to use. I'm just waiting for the day when I hear that Marvel buys Spider-Man, because then I will know all is well in the world. The God is shining on us and he graces us with this wonderful news that Sony is like, okay, you know what? We're done with Spider-Man. We're not going to make another Spider-Man movie. But the issue is that Into the Spider-Verse didn't do as well as it did, I think Sony would have sold Spider-Man, but it did astronomically well because it won like a Golden Globe or something like that, an Academy Award or something. But it did astronomically well in theaters, and it's still doing really good on streaming services. Like I'll still go on Netflix every once in a while and go watch that movie because like it's just so aesthetically pleasing and stuff like that. But if that movie would have tanked, I think Sony would have sold Spider-Man. But like, yeah, they did take him. But like, they took a bet, and that bet paid off. Whether it be for better or for worse, I guess. But I'm really excited for the movie. Multiverse stuff. If you haven't watched Loki, watch Loki. If you haven't watched WandaVision, watch WandaVision. They say it's not required watching, but I would say if you're gonna know if you're gonna want to at least know what the multiverse stuff is, you're gonna want to watch Loki, because like one, it's just a really good show, and two, like that's where like we get the multiverse stuff from. I just find it kind of, one thing I found kind of odd was that Doctor Strange knew about multiverses, even though there weren't multiverses. There were other dimensions, which I feel like they confuse a lot, right? They confuse other dimensions with universes. Like the dark dimension, it's not a universe. It's a dimension that, because the difference between like a universe and a dimension in these Marvel comics is that a dimension is multiverse wide. So like the dark dimension is the same dark dimension as it is in Earth 616 as it is in Earth 3200. Like it's the same Earth. It's the same dark dimension no matter where you go. Whereas like a multiverse, another universe is like the physics in that universe were different than in this universe. Like for example, there during Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, they went to the Illuminati, which was Iron Man, Black Panther, Namor, Mr. Fantastic, a few other people. I forgot who else was in there. It was Doctor Strange. I think that's it. They all went to another universe to basically destroy the universe. But when they brought the Infinity Gauntlet there, they realized that it doesn't work here because everything works different here. In their universe, they have the Infinity Cube. And it's like a cube that has like different shades of glass that form into a cube and can do anything, right? So like it's like dimensions are universal wide, whereas universes are very picky, especially multiverses. But hey, man, look, Spider-Man's coming out, hyped, and then Shang-Chi is coming out, hyped. Heard really great things about that. I think it comes out like next week, on Friday, I think. So, yeah, I might be out in the streets watching that, and then Spider-Man comes out in December, and yeah, that's basically all I'm gonna be doing. Is just waiting for those movies, because everything else is boring or delayed. Venom might not be delayed, but hey, who knows? Who cares these days, So, with that being said, now I will catch y'all later.